We are back again for the start of a new session, which as posted begins here now at 1 o'clock. Well, actually it's 1:05, but we have with us Justice of the Peace, Precinct 3, Bob Whitaker. Judge, welcome. We'll give you the floor and you can tell us what we need to know.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge.
And Commissioners.
Good afternoon.
I'm Robert Whitaker. It's my honor to serve as judge at the Justice Court Precinct 3. Our office is located directly behind the courthouse, separate building next door to the sheriff's office. If you have not had an opportunity to come to our office and see our office work each day, I do encourage you to do so. I won't tell you when I was born, but I will tell you that I graduated from Baylor Law School in 1977. I am closing in on 50 years as an attorney. I have about half that time as service as either a municipal judge for the city of Victoria or as Justice of the Peace for Victoria County. There are 4 JP courts in Victoria County, as you know. At this point, I am the longest serving Justice of the Peace, so I guess that kind of makes me the senior JP of the Justice Courts. I do all the same things that the other 3 Justice Courts do, but my court is rather unique. It has functions which are unique to my court, which the other courts don't handle, and it's kind of just a evolution of how things happen. And just because I'm the JP that is here in the courthouse complex, and my most important thing that I do that is unique to me is I serve as the Chief Magistrate for the City of Victoria. Now, I know that you heard Judge Garza tell you yesterday that he magistrates, and in fact he does, and I certainly appreciate his assistance with that. There are some types of cases that only a district court judge can magistrate for, and I think he was referring to those things. But of course, he can magistrate for the same types of things that I do. But my specialized role here in Victoria County is for the Chief Justice, the Chief Magistrate for Victoria County. I do get paid more, and I do think that I provide a good value to Victoria County for my service. By the way, you'll be happy to know I'm not requesting a pay raise for myself.
Write that down.
But I will hasten to add that the requested pay raise by Judge Garza and the other district court judges and the county court of law judges, they are certainly deserving of pay raises, and I encourage you to approve that which is requested. I guess I should ask you to give me some direction. How much information do you want from me reference the budget that I believe is presented before you? And I will tell you that I don't know exactly what is before you. I did have a meeting with Judge Zeller. Oh, thank you. And I think we had agreed on most everything. There is one requested pay raise for an essential clerk in our office. And if you need me to address that, I'll be happy to. But I will tell you that the requested pay raise is deserving and needed, and I encourage you to please approve that pay raise. So So, but I don't want to take up your time if you all have other things that are pressing.
Do you know if the current position that you're asking for on the pay raise, do you know, are they at the midpoint in their pay grade?
I think
or-
at this point, they are probably at the mid-range. And I'm asking that they be increased to the upper range. And
That's
Sorry.
the one that's highlighted in
Sorry,
yellow, clerk 3.
yeah,
I think your recollection is correct, Judge, that that's currently at midpoint, and that your request would remain within range but be at the top of the range.
yes, yes.
Thank you.
Judge, I know you mentioned your court being, I guess, different or unique in that you do most of the magistration's chief magistrate. Can you, I guess, speak to that, because that does bring additional activity and work in the office. I know when I fill in for you, I see just how hectic and busy, but how well done that operation is. So
All right, I'll be happy to address that.
a
Thank
day
you,
in the
Judge.
life of.
Our day starts at 8 o'clock in the morning when we open up, and we look online to see how many cases are in the queue for magistration from the sheriff's office. Everybody that comes in overnight, either on a site arrest for drunk driving or else an arrest under a warrant for some other offense, those typically will come to me for magistration. And in case you're not familiar, magistration is the process that describes the duties that is owed to a defendant when they are placed under arrest. They have to come before a magistrate. A magistrate must review the arrest report to make sure that there's probable cause for that arrest, and then set a bond amount if that person is bond eligible. Most folks are. Some people are not bond eligible. Set the bond amount and then set appropriate bond conditions. Common bond conditions could be no contact with a crime victim in an assault case, DWI bond conditions for a repeat DWI offender, GPS or ignition interlock requirements for folks that might either be a flight risk or else a danger to the community or danger to a particular crime victim. And I will tell you that I think the single most important thing that I do as a magistrate is protect crime victims and protect Victoria County from folks that are dangerous and need to be watched very carefully or closely. Sheriff's Office brings in their list of folks. This morning, I think we had 15 to magistrate, and that's probably a little more than usual. I would say it averages around 10 or 12, sometimes as many as 25, sometimes as few as 3 or 4. I review all the arrest reports. My clerks start assembling paperwork. My office magistrates for all of the district courts, the court at laws, 2 courts at law, the other JP courts, and for a municipal court for the city of Victoria. So we are busy as bees gathering paperwork that's faxed to our office or printed from the county clerk's office. They prepare some of their paperwork, they send it to us. The district clerk prepares paperwork for the district court cases. They get sent to us. My clerks are busy entering cases, preparing magistration paperwork for me to sign off on for site arrest cases and out-of-county cases. And then they also have to, now we have to look at Damon Allen reports that are sent to us that have prior criminal histories of defendants that I'm going to be magistrating. And also if there is anyone that is deemed to be at risk of suicide or serious mental health conditions, it is my duty as a magistrate to screen those particular cases, and if appropriate, I will request my clerks to order an assessment to be performed by the local mental health authority, which for us, of course, is Gulf Bend. They prepare their stack of paperwork, which these days could be as thick as a Bible, and then the sheriff's department brings folks into their arraignment room at the sheriff's office, and I get on the camera from my courtroom and I talk to them through that video link. I advise them of their rights under the law, their Miranda rights, you have the right to remain silent, all that sort of stuff. I advise them of the bond amounts if I have determined probable cause for their arrest. I will set their bail amounts. I will record whether or not they want to have a court-appointed lawyer or not. And then I also issue appropriate bond conditions, which I think I already advised you of, assaultive, DWI, GPS curfew. After I have signed off on all my paperwork, I give it back to my clerks. They make copies of things that need to have copies, and then we distribute all the paperwork back to all the other courts that have sent things to us, and then they spend time recording the appropriate orders in my case. That takes up, these days, it takes up the better part of the morning. There are some days when we have to work through lunch or into the afternoon. Thankfully, those cases are not too often. And I will tell you that my clerks are very good at working together, coordinating, scrambling to get paperwork to me. Sometimes I'll be on the bench and paperwork will come in late and they'll hand it to me when I'm already on the video camera. So that's takes up probably half my time as a JP. The other half of my time is spent with the normal day-to-day dockets that I have. I have a civil docket, have a Class C misdemeanor docket, have driver's license administrative hearings, at least monthly. We also record pre-indictment felony arrests. So someone gets arrested on a third DWI, which enhances that to the level of felony. That case first will get filed in my office, and I make appropriate determinations of bond amount and bond conditions, those types of things. And then those cases get referred back to the DA's office. And as you know, before a person can be indicted under a felony, they must be indicted by a grand jury. So the DA's office has to review those cases and present those to the grand jury. The grand jury agrees. Then they will true bill that person, and then an indictment is returned. And then that case is transferred from my office over to the docket of the district clerk for setting on a district court docket. That probably is the bulk of my work. There are other things from time to time. I typically think of my court, you'll forgive this baseball analogy, I feel like we are the scrappy little infielder that is capable of knocking down and handling anything that's hit in my direction. The legislature, each time they add some new responsibility, it seems like they throw it at the JPs. And I know Judge Zeller is long been concerned with unfunded mandates. And JPs are on the receiving end of a number of those unfunded mandates. Most importantly, Sandra Bland Act and the Damon Allen Act. And those have increased the responsibility, both for me and for my clerks, which have to prepare paperwork to satisfy those requirements.
Well, thank you for that good summary, Judge. And yeah, I think like you've pointed out to us and previously that the weekly Monday through Friday magistrations occur in addition to the other functions.
Yeah. By the way, we also are on call. Have 4 JPs. We rotate weekly, and we do get calls in the middle of the night as well. The district court judges and the county court judges, they also get some calls. So it's not entirely their burden, nor is it entirely our burden. I think the county does a good job of distributing that burden, so it's shared by all.
Very good. Any questions up here for Judge Whitaker?
So,
Okay. Anything in closing you might want us to know, Judge?
I appreciate your consideration. I do invite you to come to my office and see how we operate. Please give your serious consideration to the pay raise, which I requested. I will tell you that it is deserved. All the work that my judges, my clerks do, we all do basically the same thing. We're all cross-trained. We are all busy all the time, and it's appropriate for this clerk to be raised to a commensurate level, not the same, but commensurate level with the other clerks in my office. So please, and thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you, Judge Whitaker.
thank you, sir.
Thank you. And I yield back my time.
You yield back. Well, we will roll right along. Here, 8 minutes early. Constable Easley, we have on the schedule. Of course, also Constable Burleson is here with us. So,
I'm taking a break.
okay. Well, welcome to you both. And let's see, Constable Easley, you have the floor. And if Constable Burleson, you'd like to interject anything along the way, you're welcome to do so. Or once Constable Easley finishes.
Morning.
Morning, or afternoon, rather.
Is it afternoon already? So, I'm not sure. Do y'all have what I turned in, I guess?
We have,
Yes.
we have this.
Okay.
Yeah, that indicates what was requested. Yeah.
Okay.
There was a deputy position on there. I don't see it on here. Did I request?
Let's see, okay. New FTE requests will be on a different form we have, so thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah, that
The
happened
salary-
last year too, and nobody can answer why. It keeps getting deleted off what I asked for.
Okay, well, it's treated the
Before it
same
gets
as
to-
others.
Before it gets to Commissioner's Court, so.
Okay, well, you'll be happy to know there's no new FTEs built into any of these, but continue.
Anyway, of course, the reason I'm here is to ask for something. It's just like everybody else, I guess. And the reason I'm asking for a deputy is because we're busy. I mean, you heard the judge how busy his office is, so what's that make me busy also? Because we do everything outside his office. So I've got some numbers here for you. This year I've served 144 eviction citations, done 37 writ of possessions. I don't know if y'all know what that is. But if you don't, writ of possessions take a lot of time. Revenues are about 26,700 to date. If you think that, and I brought my call log, I had dispatch print that out for me. It's just for this year to date. So there's 415 calls. That's 2.7 calls a day, based on a 5-day work week. That doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're doing writ of possessions and they take a few hours and stuff like that, it's a lot. And we don't just go one time. Probably about I would say maybe 60% of all our civil process, you don't just go one time, you go back several times to find them, if you find them at all. And then if you don't, and you got to do some more office work, go do alternates, which requires an affidavit, goes back to the judge's office, goes through them, gets signed, goes back to me, go back out on the street and get it served. It's kind of one of them deals where it's every day there's something going on. You know, usually by 6:30 in the morning, I look like this, I'm out the door, I work every day. It might not be every day, all day, but it's every day. It's not something you get away from. Plus the calls, I know this weekend I took 3 calls, probably after 10 o'clock at night this weekend. So we do that too, for cows on the road. I think that's where all 3 of them are, for cows on the road. Nonetheless, it's a call, so I got to get up, put my clothes on and go. It's not like we just work a day or 2 a week. So that also fits into why I'm asking for a pay raise. I just feel like all the other elected officials make $90,000 or somewhere in that area. That's what I should make also. You know, why the difference? Another thing I wanted to talk about was we don't have any case management system, you know, computer-wise. So when I go a call, I don't have no record retention at all, unless I got handwritten down on a note card or something in my unit. And that's just not good for a law enforcement agency not having any record retention in this day and age. And it's something I've asked for years, never understood. I understand there is something coming down, but that's supposed to include the constables, so we'll have our own system. But I don't know what it is. I understand they're training for it already. Haven't heard nothing. Have no idea. As usual, we're in the dark. I guess they don't know if it's going to happen or not.
Are you
Nobody
talking about
keeps
that
us
through
in
the
the loop.
sheriff's office? Is that through the sheriff's office?
Well, they're supposed to have this thing called Pro Phoenix or whatever they're working on, and we're supposed to have our own system that's each constable's office is going to have. That's our system. It's all going to work together, but we're going to be the ones to.
Pete Cole is gonna tell us what we have to have, and I just attended some training 2 weeks ago. They'll have a system and they'll tell us what we gotta have, because each one of us is our own separate entity agency, so we're just like, Kenneth said, we're just waiting for them to tell us what we
Okay. When do you think we'll have that information?
They won't even tell us.
They won't tell you. Okay.
Nobody.
Okay.
I just found out today, I was over at the sheriff's office. They said, yeah, we've been doing some training already, taking a look at it. Taking a look at what? We don't know. What it includes.
Yeah, I don't know what that would be.
So,
The ProKidney software that the sheriff's office is getting was part of the contract was to include the constable's offices as separate jurisdictions, basically divisions of that software, and that's been delayed so many times at the sheriff's office. I think the plan was to implement the constables after the sheriff's office got implemented, which they're now, I believe, sometime in October, I believe, is supposed to go live.
Okay, so that's been purchased.
It's supposed to be
It's
part of the
being-
Pro Phoenix package
okay.
that we've already purchased.
Okay.
Including, it's basically the software that the sheriffs uses to manage all their calls and
Case
records and
management.
jail and all of
Long
that stuff.
system.
Okay.
I believe
I
so.
vaguely remember this discussion a while back.
It's, yeah, the implementation has drug out a long time with the sheriff's office. But it is still a part of the package as far as I'm.
Okay, so that sounds like it's in the works. Thanks, Matt.
When y'all go on calls, do y'all radio and dispatch them
Sure.
when you're out there?
sure we do.
Good.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only record we have.
We never
And
know.
I'll ask the dispatcher to make some notes for us, so we got some type
Right.
of
So
record.
somebody knows where you.
But I've been to stuff before where they're like, well, the sheriff's office has been over here several times. I'm like, well, why don't we know this? You know, because we don't share any information. So, and it's hard for them. It's not their day to babysit us, but they do what they can because the law says they have to dispatch for us. So, you know, and they do a good job of it, and they help us out when we need to. But we still have to have our own stuff. I mean,
Right.
I mean, I got audited by the AG's office one time for papers I served. I didn't have any records. I have a handwritten notebook. I had to go through there like 4 years earlier and highlight some where I wrote the case numbers down, and that was my records. I was asked, well, why don't you just make a copy of it and put it in a folder? I said, well, because at that time I didn't even have an office. I said, I don't have a copy machine, so that's what you get. It's kind of embarrassing, too. They wasn't very happy about it either. If you ever dealt with the AG's office, sometimes they're, not so easy to get along with. Also, there's one other thing. But the deputy thing, I mean, at what point in time are we just, I mean, God forbid I get sick or something. It used to be we used to just cover for each other, but we all got so much going on now that's kind of like, man, it's been, and like now we have added, I found out, I guess 2 days ago that Housing Authority is going to start doing all their evictions again, since we hadn't really done any of that since before COVID. So that's going to add probably anywhere from 50 to 75 evictions a year to what I'm already over 200 for the last couple of years already. So you take that into account, well, that's just more and more. I mean, Victoria's growing, so. But really, I'd like y'all to have some questions for me. I mean, I've beat this horse to death for years, and nothing's happened.
On the deputy, what would that, I mean, like, how am I trying to go with this? And would they work like y'all, the hours y'all do, or you're just saying this is a position? I think Aaron and I talked about it a little bit.
Probably.
Is it a position that fill in? Is this a full-time job, a part-time job?
Well, I don't know. I always have concerns about my court. You know, they're operating all day long, and there's nobody. I mean, I'm there maybe 2 hours a day. I'm around there,
Right.
and thank God y'all approved my office over there because it's sure nice. Puts me over there
Sure.
at some point in time. But, man, they get some peculiar people come in there, and we don't have security like y'all do here. That's by law. That's a courthouse, too. So people just come and go in and there, and we have locks on all the doors. You know, it's stuff I requested over the years just for security purposes to protect the judge. And that's a statutory duty of mine, to protect the judge. And it would be nice to have somebody around there a lot more. Plus, you got everything to do there at the court. So it would be nice to have a deputy there,
Okay.
just like every other courthouse is afforded. Like here, for instance, they got deputies here. And it's a lot different situation, but the same at that.
Right.
Just smaller. So, you know, from my point of view, plus, you know, I get countless calls of people out in the county that want to know why they don't see me. Well, because I'm in town serving papers and stuff.
I see the need. I mean, Aaron and I, we discussed this.
I mean, we just can't, I mean,
Definitely.
like I say, God forbid I get sick. I mean, what's going to happen? And I've done 2 courts. It's been years. I did precinct 1 for probably 6 to 8 weeks one time. I did both courts, man. Let me tell you, it's all you could do to get it all done in 5 days a week, to do 2 courts back then. So, you know, pre-COVID, we were really busy. I was doing probably 4 to 6 writ of possessions a week, you know, and it's coming back. All that COVID stuff, I guess all the money ran out, you know, from the government programs.
Is
And
your mic on, Commissioner?
It's not,
Someone
excuse me.
texted me saying-
Oh, I'm sorry.
So repeat everything that you said.
I gotta go back and say everything I said. My original question was what the hours, or if it would be an FTE or part-time as far as the deputy.
I'll take
And you
anything you
answered,
give
and
me.
you're already on record as,
Yeah.
no, they couldn't hear my question.
If there was a full-time FTE, would that full-time FTE be able to rotate around and cover the other precinct constables as
If they
well?
needed it.
Or,
If they needed it, certainly. You know, if I had a deputy and somebody was out or somebody needed bailiff at their court or something, I don't have a problem. We kind of cover for each other anyway. So
Right.
it wouldn't be nothing. It would just be assisting another agency. So certainly wouldn't be, it would certainly work like that. It could. But, I mean, it's just kind of one of the things you get bigger. I don't want to do a bad job. I want to get my job done. I've been here 20-something years. And, when I started, we didn't have anything. I started with a handheld radio and $18,000 a year salary. You know, spent my own money on vehicles and gas. We didn't even have a gas allowance or anything. I did all that out of my pocket. So that should tell you I'm here for a reason. I'm not here to do a bad job. I mean, I'm devoted to what I do,
Yeah, nobody doubts that one bit.
right? So,
At all.
or else I wouldn't be here no more.
Right.
Because it wouldn't be worth it. There's other things I could do to make more money, I can tell you.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, no, agree.
any other questions? I hope I didn't forget something. I'm sure I did. I'll think of it
It
later.
sounds like the case management and call log system is going to happen through, in conjunction with the
Yeah,
sheriff's office.
and I hope it works for me. I mean, I never was in part of it. Nobody ever showed us anything. I hope
I
it tracks
received-
my civil process.
I received a message saying it's gonna go live October 14th,
Yeah, for who?
but for the SO.
Yeah, well, that's not the constable's office. So we don't know, we don't have a clue what it is or whether it's gonna work for us or how it works. So. Anything else? Aaron?
About the deputy, yeah, that would be great if each one of us had a paid deputy that could help us. It's ultimately, it's the citizens of Victoria that benefit from us because we can control more, enforce more, and see more, and with the amount of paperwork we get. Now, I got a great commissioner. He's so responsive. Anytime I call a guy, he's always quick to answer me and let's see how we can do this. And I spoke to him about the idea of part-time deputy. I have two deputies that are.
Can you come up to the mic?
Yeah, come up to the
Constable?
I
mic,
have two deputies that
especially in the
are-
Great Commissioner part.
And they get out here and they knock on doors. These two
Only you
deputies
caught
knock
that.
on doors for free because they love this county. They're from here. This is their home.
Right.
And, but they got jobs, they got families, they got other things going on. And, if we can't get a paid deputy, if we could get some money added to our budget every year that we could take out of it and we could use to pay my reserve deputies or maybe some other deputies from the sheriff's office that wanted to make like off-duty work. That would be a great benefit.
How many weeks of coverage do you foresee? How much coverage? I know in a perfect world it'd be a new full-time person, but
I haven't had a decent vacation in about 6 years, so I'd like to take a 2-week vacation. So I'm gonna say 2 weeks to answer your question.
2 weeks minimum.
And then I'd like to add another 2 weeks just for, well, like, Kenneth was saying, what if we get sick? God forbid.
Yeah.
I'm 66 years old, so I'm knocking on the door myself. So, I mean, you know,
You don't look it,
I'm very healthy.
spring chicken.
But that would be a great benefit. And I know I talked to Kenneth about it. And hopefully, maybe you guys, if you haven't heard about it, you're hearing about it now. You like the idea. Just give us some money. I'm talking like I'm just spitting here out in the wind, $5-6 grand a year. And it's set aside in a special category just for us to take out of that and pay guys. And if we keep them under 40 hours, I think it's under 35 hours a week, then they're considered part-time, and you don't have to give them all the benefits that you do as a regular county employee. That's my idea. That's all it is.
If I can say.
Yeah.
It's 30, isn't it? Isn't it 30 hours?
32, I think, is
Somewhere around there.
below 32.
Yeah,
What they're doing in other
something
counties
like that.
is they're paying them like, their reserves like $45 an hour because it's part-time. They don't get
Like
any
an
benefits.
off-duty
It's
job.
kind of like an off-duty. So you attract people from like police departments and sheriff's offices. And that don't have to be in your county. It could be from a neighboring county or something.
Sure.
And what you get out of that is you get guys already have their training and stuff, so you don't have to pay for no training and
Gotcha.
stuff like that. Except for civil process, you got to have that if you're a constable or deputy constable by law. You have to have that. So, that's a kind of a benefit if you can find them. I don't know nowadays
My
how easy it
reserves
is to
have
find
that
anybody.
training now.
Right.
They're ready
So,
to go. And,
Yeah. I currently don't have any. They're hard to find. Nobody wants to work for free
You can borrow mine.
because they have to pay for their own training. So, right.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Yeah, we haven't really discussed a lot of pre-budget stuff. Yeah, I have not had a chance to talk to the court. We'll be in session and I'm definitely gonna discuss, what you and I talked about. to everybody.
But I could just
I
assure
just
you.
can't go from one person to the
I can
next and
assure
talk
you,
to
if I had a
everybody.
full-time deputy, he's gonna bring in, because there's a lot of civil process out there to serve, and I would just put them turning papers. And, you know, I had a whole plan I drawn up several years ago. I mean, it was a good deal, you know, it's kind of expensive budget, but there was a bunch of it would come back to the county just through the visa office.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, so, I mean, I talked to constables all over the state, and, you know, there's some of them who tell you, hey, tell your commissioner he can buy a new dump truck this year off of what my guys are gonna make, you know, over our budget. Now, I'm not saying that would happen here in Victoria County, but I would say there's probably at least $500,000 worth of civil process that goes to private process servers that I can call around and pick some up. You know, it doesn't have to, but
right.
it could happen. You know, I'm all about making stuff work and at some benefit to the county.
That's all I have.
That number you said, that 226,000 a day, elaborate on that. I know what
The
you're
what?
talking about, just so others.
The 26,000.
Or it's 26,000, I could have missed that.
That's my fees office today.
The two,
My record to date.
it was 226, is that what you said, or 26?
$26,700.
To date,
That's what my books have, and it may.
okay. I just
Auditor's
want,
office, it's usually, they're a little lower, and I can explain that. A lot of stuff we serve, like, taxing entities like ISDs and stuff, papers we get from out of county.
Right.
You don't get paid until the case is solved, so
Gotcha.
it's good luck whether you ever get paid or not. I mean, I've got
Sure.
them, you know, I was in office 10 years. I got one that came from the constable before, was probably 5 years old when he retired. You know, so, you know, you may get it, someday you'll get it, you don't know when. I used to keep them all in a folder, and I'd call about once a year all these courts from different counties and ask them if that case had been settled. And if it would be, I'd be calling a lawyer's office wanting to know where my $100 was.
right,
So, or the county's $100.
Yeah.
By law, we have to collect that. And sometimes I would get lucky and they go, oh, well, they just wouldn't pay it. They think everybody forgot about it, so they just
Right.
don't pay the service. I think I've got some really, made some people mad. I'm probably the only one, guys, I run my office like a business, you know, so I think that's what should be done sometimes.
Yeah.
Just gotta stay after people to get what should be done,
agree.
so.
I don't have any questions. Constable Easley and myself had the opportunity to visit several weeks ago and talk through some of these things, so thank you.
Thank
Anything
you,
else?
Constable.
All right, thank you,
Appreciate it.
guys.
Constable Burleson, thank you as well.
You?
Thank y'all for taking the time. All right. Go to JT Ranch Road, go write tickets over there. You could get writer's cramp. You could get it over there. All right. Now what?
Let's see, 2 o'clock.
Court of Law Judges, 2 o'clock. Calling Court of Law Judges once, calling twice. All right, move on to the next one. No, I'm kidding. It's only
we'll wait
1:40,
for
it's
two.
1:43. I'm
Yeah,
joking.
we will give them
I'm just
time
trying
to
to
show
lighten
up
the mood a little bit in here.
at the pre-established time. So we
Everybody
will
calm
recess
down.
until the court at law judges arrive.
Thank you, sir.
Thank y'all for being here early. The timing works because we're trucking right along today. We're good over here. All right, we are coming out of recess at 1:48. 12 minutes earlier than scheduled. We'll hear from our two county court at law judges. Again, I know we got to visit a little bit yesterday. Welcome back.
Yep, thank y'all for hearing us this afternoon, and I'm not going to rehash anything from yesterday unless y'all had any kind of questions.
I don't.
No, sir, not.
No,
Okay.
sir.
So there being no questions, I'm not going to rehash anything on what we discussed on the
Okay.
judge's salary yesterday.
Okay.
What I do need to talk to you about this afternoon, I have one item. It's in connection with the court reporter salaries, and there's only two. I think, at least the last couple of years, I think we've usually gone into closed session for that, since it's, I guess since these two particular individuals are identified, but I don't care either way. Do y'all want to do it under closed session?
I don't think so unless
Okay,
you would
then that's
prefer to.
fine.
I think we could.
I just didn't know, because I know, I think it was actually Commissioner Garcia a couple of years that asked me about that. So let me just go right on into it. I just didn't know if it should be addressed. And then for you, Commissioner Martin, I know you're new to the scene, so I just kind of give you an overall idea. The county courts at law department, if you want to call it that, is pretty small. It's the two judges, elected judges. We share a court coordinator, and we have two reporters, a court reporter each. So basically, we have 3 employees. That's it, okay? Court coordinator is kind of manages the office, sets our dockets, and those kind of things. What I'm really going to address is just the court reporter salary. We have a new court coordinator, because Becky Wade, who was a county employee for, 33 years, or right at 33 years. She retired, and we have a new court coordinator, Teresa Novosad, and we're not asking for any change or anything with her salary. So let me get down to the 2 court reporters. They're currently level 16, okay? As you know, from probably March, the district court reporters make $120,000. Okay, the two county court at law reporters make $86,092. Okay, what that is, it's a difference of $33,908, almost $34,000 difference, and what that works out to percentage-wise is that the district court reporters make 28.3% more. It's pretty significant in my mind. So they make 28.3% more. What we're asking, and I'll get into some other figures. Well, let me go ahead and get into this. And I don't want to go, I know y'all heard from Judge Garza back in March, but a couple of things I want to point out before I talk to you a little bit more. GovSalaries.com reports the average court reporter salary for a government-employed court reporter at $119,851, which is real close to what y'all are paying the district court reporters here. And then also, we checked on San Patricio County, and this is for their county courts at law reporters. They're currently paying them $115,068, okay? So the average is close to 120. Again, San Patricio, the county court at law, there is 115. What line, if you need this, it's on line 425-1103, okay? What I'm asking to do, and what we're asking to do, is not move them. We didn't ask for a reclassification or anything like that, but they're at the midpoint for this particular grade at 86,000. To keep them in the same grade, the top end of that is, and I have it down, yeah, it's 105,955. Okay, it's basically 105,000, almost 106. But that's the top end of the grade. Of course, I need Commissioners Court approval to move them beyond the 86 of which where they're currently at. So what I'm asking is that they be moved up to that 105 105,955, which would be the top end of the same grade pay scale that they're at, which is level 16. Or if not that, some increase in that range, but that's what we're asking. I do want to point out a couple other things too. We lost one of our court reporters to that was actually Judge Ernst's reporter, Christie, actually got hired by the district courts, or district judge. It was, she went on to work for Judge Moore, our newest district judge. So anyway, to let you know. But so we did lose one of ours. We have since been able to get Michael Raven, who was a local court reporter, to take that position. I go back to the compensation study, the Baker-Tilly compensation study, which has kind of been a baseline. And I know the figures were much different when for their compensation was much different at that time. But the compensation level for the court reporters, whether they be district or county court law, were the same. Okay? They're both graded the same. In other words, they made no distinction. And for you, Commissioner Martin, this is nothing new to probably Judge Zeller or Commissioner Sexton. There's nothing new. I've wanted them to get closer to, if not the same as, those district court reporters. And anyway, and that compensation study showed them at exactly the same pay grade or the same pay. Of course, the other thing I want to point out is the district court currently has a rover position that's open at $120,000, and for at least unless they've done something recently, I didn't ask any of the judges yesterday, they've not been able to fill that position, even at $120,000.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. So where we're at is, and that's kind of a split of the difference. That would be, if you went from the 86 to the 105,955, it's a $19,863 per court reporter, and the line added to that line 425.1103 would be a $39,726 impact. So it's a little bit south of $40,000 is what we're requesting for that particular line item. And really, that's all I have. I wanted to make those points and again, express that at least I get closer to the district court reporters. Any question, guys? And I'm assuming that everything else in the budget, I know with and I don't know with the ClearGov thing, I'm assuming everything else is budgeted the same. So,
Yeah, nothing was reduced.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah,
So the only request really, other than, of course, the legislative change for us, would be this request for the court reports. Anything you want to add?
I just throw out there as a practical matter.
Judge, could you come up to the
Come
mic?
to the mic.
We got
Sorry.
folks watching online.
My apologies.
Yeah.
As a practical matter, if my court reporter or Judge Gillum's court reporter applied for the rover position, they're probably more than qualified to get hired by the district judges. That'd leave one of us without a court reporter, and we'd be starting over at the salary we're at now, which if it can't be filled at 120 for the rover position, it'd be even more difficult.
Tough to fill the lower, right?
Yeah, so, I mean, keep that in mind. And if a scenario like that did happen, we just can't have court.
Sure.
I mean, we literally come to a halt.
Right.
So, thank you.
Well, thank you, Judge.
Yep. Any other questions or anything else?
Yeah, I don't think any questions. I know, like you pointed out, Judge, this has been a familiar discussion, and I know we have taken steps, made progress. We came close one year,
Last year, we made pretty good step.
but then
Y'all did make a good step
Yeah.
last year, yeah.
each
Go ahead.
time,
I'm sorry.
each time we get close, the
District.
the bar is raised yet again. So, and I know that hasn't been quick enough for your satisfaction, but we've taken steps, and I think we will continue to do so. What may happen this year, I don't know yet, but
Okay.
I mean, the sentiment was well communicated. I think we do all understand where you're coming from
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah.
We get it.
Well, and I think, bottom line, it's a shortage of court reporters.
yeah.
That's the bottom line. And then the fact that you only have about 10 or 11% that pass that test. Now, there are mass reporters that are out there that's a little different, and I don't have any experience with them, but, you know, but still, they're getting the same amount of money is what it boils down to, you know, but anyway. Anything else? Otherwise, I will leave y'all, so hopefully you can get to your weekend a little bit early. I know you've got some other probably
I
matters.
think
Well-
any young adults watching, if they are watching this, if they're trying to consider a career, this is something they certainly should look into. It's a shortage and it's a well-paid job. Sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
I'm
and I do know, no, I don't want to go into detail. I do know a couple of county employees that were looking into that. One of the programs got canceled, but they just,
Do they offer that in Victoria? Or is it, I remember Judge one time went to Corpus, but does Victoria
I
College
think-
or U of H offer
Is
this?
it Glenn or is it,
Del-Mar, I
Del Mar,
thought
that's what it
Del-Mar,
is.
right.
that's who offered it.
Del Mar,
Yeah.
99% sure there's not one in Victoria County
Probably
that's
should be.
offered, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, well, and the problem is, I think people don't want to go through a 2-year program, and then there are a lot of people don't achieve that speed and accuracy. You know what I'm saying? I know Judge Garza, and I remember talking to y'all, I compared it to a concert pianist or whatever,
Right.
because it's, you know, they come down, and he kind of harasses me about that, you know, your argument, but still, it's almost a talent like that, where they have to listen to it, take it down, and then and put it on paper, you know, and they do have recordings that back that up, but it's not an easy job, so, anyway, I don't know. Anything else?
I don't believe so, Judge. Anything?
I love the tie. We're 3 weeks away from starting.
That's right, August
And-
30th.
And we're gonna do good. It's gonna be a good year.
I certainly hope so. Much to his chagrin, I don't know.
No, I say Gigamaggie.
Oh, okay, I thought maybe,
No, we say gig 'em, hey, we're pumped up. We're gonna have a good football team this year. All
I
right.
hope so.
Sorry, I'm not trying to waste time, but I do like your tie. It's nice.
Okay, thanks. Anyway,
you
y'all
very
have a good weekend. Thank y'all.
Judge,
for-
thank
Y'all too. Thank y'all. Adios. Have a good one. Thanks for coming early.
Yes, sir. You probably should have come even earlier. I didn't know.
Yeah, it's okay.
No, it works.
Worked
Timing
out fine.
Yeah, thank you.
JP precinct 2.
Yeah, see if he's free to head
Oh,
over
man, this
here
would be
earlier.
great.
And we can stand in recess until Judge Durham arrives.
I received another
Okay, we are coming out of recess at 2:11 p.m. Judge Durham is here with us early. Appreciate that once again, Judge. JP Precinct 2, welcome, and you have the floor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Pretty much what I'm going to say is a duplicate of, we had a prior meeting. I'm not asking for an increase for myself, but I have two employees there, Leanne Schromick and Cindy Pena. Leanne Schromick is in the chief judge position, or chief clerk position, and Cindy is in the, I guess you'd call it, it looks like it's listed here as clerk 3. Sometimes it just says clerk position. And both of them, Leanne's been there almost 22 years. Cindy's been there almost 19 years, I believe. Those are general numbers. We have if you look at fines and you look at fees, and I showed you those statistics earlier. JP2 is the busiest of all three courts. We're the only court that has 2 employees, as opposed to the other 3 having 3 employees. And some of those do extra added responsibilities. Of course, Judge Whitaker does magistrations, and he has an employee that helps with magistrations, of course, and he's got a great staff. And what I'm saying here is not to criticize anyone else's court, because I'm familiar with and have worked in each of the courts, and they've all got great staffs. I had requested a category change or classification change the last 2 years, and it wasn't approved. So I think it was Gianni who suggested, well, why don't you just not request a classification change this year? Why don't you see if you can just get some more money allocated in those positions? Now, I don't want to say that she's saying that should happen or anything, but she's saying that might be the way to approach it. Because these 2 ladies, there are people in the other courts that are getting pretty much the same salary, for instance, that Cindy's making, who have been working less than half the time. And not that you should necessarily get more money just because you've been there longer, but these 2 ladies obviously do a whole lot because of the fact that we're busier with fines, we're busier with court costs than all the 3 other courts. If you look at another category, if you look at truancy, we have West High School, we have the junior high that's there with it, we have Howell. I don't know the exact numbers, but I believe we have a busier truancy docket than any of the others. And we also have the school district that's out north of town. Is it
Nursery.
Nursery? We have that. They don't have a lot of truancy out there.
No, they don't.
They are on top of it. And I'm not saying the others aren't, but it's just a much bigger situation. And we have those. And then we have a number of the elementary schools, and surprisingly how much truancy there is from those. We have Scholomer, Vickers, Chandler. I can't think of the name of it, but the one that's over there by Howell, Roland. It's surprising how much truancy there are there. So I guess my point in general, all the courts are busy, but we're really busy. Give you an example of just the civil cases that we have. DTAR North files their cases in JP2. And I guess that's because their administrative offices are out there at the north one. We had, week before last, we had 71 cases filed just from DTAR Hospital.
Wow.
So these ladies do a great job. They keep up with it. They are very professional. We're not asking for another employee, but I'd like to see them compensated, because I don't want to lose these ladies. Because I will say this, if I lost either one of those, I would be asking for a 3rd employee to keep up with it. They don't think they need one. They work real hard. They work really hard with Rex Mays, who's been a fantastic constable. We're just very blessed to have Rex over there. And Jimmy Calloway was great too, but we're just so glad to have him in there. So that's basically it. You don't need me to keep on talking about this, but I'd like them to see them get compensated more for what they're doing. And I will say this, though. I've worked in law offices. I worked for Getty Oil Company. I worked for the county in other capacities. In 45 years of working, these two ladies, and I have a law office here in town, these two ladies are up top with just anybody I've ever had. So I just hate to lose them. So anyway, thank you all very much.
Well, thank you, Judge.
Thank you for your time.
Quick question.
Yes,
I
sir.
know we have a copy of the request in front of us. That was for line items 456, 1103, 456, 1105. If I recall from our prior conversation, one of these we were able to increase last year, I believe, due to the compensation study.
It was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
It was
Okay.
2 years
Was-
ago, and
was
that was the chief clerk.
That was the chief clerk.
That was the
Okay.
chief clerk
Okay.
position, because her responsibilities, well, they just changed it. I didn't really even ask for that. They changed
Yeah.
it. And so, but basically, other than that, in the 18 and 21 years that these two ladies have been there, all they've ever received is the cost of living, increases. And they're just, to me, they're just doing a lot more than the other positions, and I think the statistics show it. So,
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
any other questions?
I don't believe any other questions.
I
We
don't think so.
certainly
All right,
appreciate your time, Judge.
y'all are doing a great job. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, moving right along. Let's see, that's our last planned visit with the department today. We're finished that up earlier than expected. I think there are a couple matters we could address in closed session and still looks like be out of here before 3 o'clock, our scheduled time to adjourn. So let's go ahead and do that. At this time, 2:19 p.m., we will go into closed session regarding personnel in various departments. All right, we are coming out of closed session at 3:22 PM. There is no further business we need to address today, so we will stand adjourned, and budget workshops will resume at 1:30 PM on Monday.